the president's battle against obstructionist Democrats and ineffective Republican leadership, my words, not the president's, in Congress, we're joined by Kellyanne Conway, counselor to President Trump. And it is great to see you, Kellyanne. We've just gotten word that the Senate Majority Leader is committed to actually getting something done and is going to take 2 weeks away from everyone and make them work. Do you think that'll be enough?
It's a great development, and I think the forgotten men and forgotten women of America should not forget that Leader McConnell and the Republicans in the Senate are willing to stay here in Washington a couple extra weeks, not take that 5 or 6 week break sometimes that we know Americans don't get, but the Congress sometimes get, and get the work done. You know, Lou, health care reform, repealing and replacing Obamacare is part of that, but there's so much else on the agenda, and I think it's also time to shine a brighter light, a hotter light, on the Democratic obstructionism and resistance. It's no longer a bumper sticker or a bunch of pink hats. It's hurting people in this country. We only have 23% of the president's nominees that have been confirmed. The rest are just languishing there. We don't have the number 2 spots filled in some of these departments and cabinet agencies. The president has nominated them. The judicial process is at a halt because some of these federal judges are not being considered. So let's show which party really means progress and campaign promise fulfillment.
You know, the working man and woman out there, Kellyanne, may not know about those percentages, may not understand necessarily all of the impact of those percentages, but what they do understand is a Republican leadership that has the brains, the ingenuity, and the guts to hold the obstructionist Dems to account and move ahead despite them. We're not seeing that from Ryan. We're not seeing that from McConnell. There's no toughness, there's no intelligence, and there is very little beyond pure flaccidity on the part of the Republican leadership in the face of obstructionism. It's time to make something happen, isn't it?
I'm going to push back on this. I was in the Republican Senate lunch today, where Vice President Pence attends it regularly. I had the opportunity to go.
That sounds lovely, Kellyanne.
Well, hold on. And I was there when Leader McConnell and the others were discussing health care alternatives. And I will tell you this. There's a very serious effort here to make good on repealing and replacing Obamacare. Not because it's been a campaign promise.
Then let me push back, if I may, as well, Kellyanne. Let me push back as well. We are now approaching the last 2 weeks of this work period for Republicans in the House and the Senate. We haven't got but 3 weeks here. 3 weeks in which to get something done. And all I'm hearing and all the American people are seeing is nothing from the House and the Senate leadership to hold the Dems accountable.
I really hope that the holding back the 2 weeks of recess is a great start to get things done and to show that these Democrats who are obstructing think they're raising money off of it and they're worried about who's going to run in 2020. It's nonsense. They're going to have to look their constituents in the eye and say, we failed on health care, we failed on tax reform.
I can't believe you're filibustering me. I have been
a We're allies.
You are. And you've got to acknowledge it, and you've got to be straight with this audience. You can be whatever you want with any other audience in the country, but this audience that supports Donald Trump, I'm talking about filibustering instead of responding to a question.
Well, I am responding, but you're not letting me finish. You're just telling me that the leadership is not doing its job, and I'm telling you today they took away 2 weeks of vacation to get these things done.
You're telling me how hopeful you are based on one luncheon.
No, that's not true. I am very hopeful that the American people can see exactly what the Democrats are up to here, which is they don't want to come to the table.
They understand
anything.
what the Democrats are up to. What they don't understand, and what I don't understand, is what are the Republican leadership up to, and why in the world isn't the White House responding with greater force and direction?
They better repeal Obamacare because they promised you. They better get the wall built. They better go ahead and pass Kate's Law in sanctuary cities, which passed the House last week. They better get on to tax reform because everybody expects it and people in this country deserve it. Working families, small business owners need it. So they better do all those things. They better get the budget done. They better get spending under control. We agree on all of that. And, you know, there are very few legislative days left in the calendar. You're right. They tacked on 2 extra weeks. Let's see if they can keep up with the pace of this president. We're all for it. But, you know, if they don't,
when is the White House going to respond to Bob Mueller? When is the White House going to respond to a special counsel that is playing all sorts of partisan games, who has created an organization that is designed to subvert this presidency rather than serve any national interest. When is this nonsense going to end? When is this White House going to respond to a left-wing media that's committed to its subversion, its outright destruction?
Well, I certainly respond to the left-wing media. In fact, I've got the courage to go right into the belly of the beast, and I tell them exactly who they are, like ants on a sugar cube, obsessed with one thing, one country that's not named America, by the way, that's named Russia, and that they have these 24/7 cable stations. They can't cover everything. They can't tell the country what's going on with the wall, what's going on with healthcare, what's going on with the economy. They can only obsess over one issue. I mean, that's not, that is, some of us do push back, believe me.
And I think the audience of this broadcast is obsessed with a host of issues, nearly every one of which the president has been on the right side of history in both articulating a vision and a path forward. What we are not seeing right now is that direction being executed by either the White House, the House, or the Senate, all Republican-led, and that's creating some consternation that's needless, in my opinion.
President is, well, that's your opinion, but the facts are that this president is leading every single day and talking to members of Congress and Senate.
And you've got all of the arms and the machine of government, and I have just my little opinion.
No,
and
you're
I wish
very
you
strong
best
voice.
And all the best.
Thank you for having me.
And I appreciate you being with us. Thanks so much.
My pleasure. Thank you.